What is good, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Going to be going over everyone the Cowboys brought in from waivers over these past 24 hours and everyone they brought back and placed on their practice squad, how the roster looks right about now, and also going to be covering some quotes and whatnot that came out from practice today as we prepare for the season opener in Tampa. Now, before we... Camera is a little off-centered, actually. Let me fix that. Before we get into everything, I would just like to point out that about 90% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if that is you, do me a favor, hit that big red subscribe button. Make it say subscribed. If it says subscribe, tap the bell icon next to it to get notified anytime I upload or go live. Tomorrow at some point, I'm not sure when, morning, afternoon, or evening, me, Elliot, and maybe Alec, or maybe me and just Elliot, or maybe just me, I don't know who's all going to be on the stream, but I'm going to be streaming, going over some season predictions, talking about what I think the record will be, over-unders on passing yards, tackle numbers, all that good stuff. It's going to be a stream you don't want to miss. I'm very excited because I'm tired of talking about all this preseason BS. We're finally going to have an opportunity to just sit around for an hour and discuss how we think this season is going to go. So, like I said, tomorrow, tune in and make sure you have the bell icon activated so you know right when we go live. Drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below your thoughts on the practice squad and everything we talk about today, the usual. All right, let's get right into it. I want to start with the punter, Bryan Anger, who was released. This is kind of like a Jake McQuaid situation. He's going to be back. They just release him in order to save a roster spot because nobody's going to pick up Bryan Anger in free agency. Outside signees, Will Grier from Carolina. He's a quarterback. Corey Clement from New York. He's a running back. Braelyn Speaks. I believe he's from Kansas City. He might have been on the unit last year. I'm not sure. But I know at one point he played for the Chiefs because I used to be a Chiefs bandwagon, and I was a big fan of him. So I'm glad the Cowboys were able to get Braelyn Speaks onto the practice squad. By the way, Will Grier and Corey Clement are on the active roster. And then finally, Ian Bunting. I believe he came from Philadelphia or Carolina. I don't know which one. It might not even be either. But regardless, he's on the Cowboys now, the practice squad, another tight end to pair with Jeremy Sprinkle on that squad. So 4 outside signees. Will Grier basically means no Cam Newton. I kind of saw this coming. I didn't really think the Cowboys were going to get Cam Newton regardless. If you want to go in depth or you want to hear me go in depth, I posted a video yesterday, so go check that out. But Cam Newton was never going to sign with the Cowboys, regardless of what you thought. I don't know who needs to hear that, but there you go. Corey Clement, the new running back 3. We talked about how Jaquan Hardy and Brendan Knox, neither of them were NFL ready, and obviously Rico Dowdle went on the IR a few weeks ago, ending his season, so the Cowboys needed a third running back. They went up, picked up Corey Clement. He has some special teams ability. I'm not complaining. Used to play with the Browns, had that very famous video in Hard Knocks. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but if you do, shout out to you. I already talked about Braelyn Speaks. I was a big fan of him. More of an outside linebacker, pass rusher. Used to play with Kansas City, so that's nice. And then Ian Bunting, like I said, just throwing in another tight end onto the squad with Jeremy Sprinkle to potentially get elevated, because at least one of the two will be elevated for a Thursday season opener, seeing how the Cowboys only have Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz with Sean McKeon heading to the IR. Let's talk about that IR, by the way. Sean McKeon, Neville Gallimore, Josh Ball, Francis Bernard, Chauncey Golston, Malik Turner, and Kelvin Joseph. We talked about in the stream yesterday how Kelvin Joseph might be headed there, and it turns out he has a groin injury. He's going to keep him out for about 3 weeks, so he won't be eligible to play in Thursday's season opener. CeeDee Lamb, Carlos Watkins, DeMonte Casey, and Dan Quinn all activated from the COVID IR. Connor Williams and Noah Brown, the only 2 left on that list. So that means the roster is currently at 48 of 53. You have to assume when Connor Williams and Noah Brown come back, they'll be on the active roster. That'll make it 50 of 53. Then Bryan Anger and Jake McQuaid come back. That's 51 of 53. At that point, you're elevating a tight end, and your roster's maxed out. Cowboys are probably want to elevate Justin Hamilton as well, who made this practice squad. We'll go over everyone who made the practice squad here in a second, which means you'll probably have to cut someone. Looking at guys like Matt Farnoik, Azur Kamara, maybe Terrence Steele. We don't know. At this point, I'm nitpicking at guys. I'm not in the building. That's very hard for me to tell. So I'm just throwing ideas out there. Let's go over the guys the Cowboys put through waivers or released that they ended up getting back. Now, all of these guys are on the practice squad, starting with Ben DiNucci. I know a lot of you guys might be upset with that, but it doesn't hurt. Cowboys coaching staff likes him. There is mobility there, and he's still young. There's time to develop. I don't necessarily think he'll ever be a starting quarterback in the NFL, but just holding him onto the practice squad, worst comes to worst, Dak, Cooper Rush, and Will Grier all go down. It sounds crazy, but last year we had Dak and Andy Dalton go down. This is the NFL. Things happen. So Ben DiNucci's on the practice squad. Jaquan Hardy, Nick Ralston. Nick Ralston's a guy I hope will eventually be on this active roster. I really like him as a fullback, and I think Mike McCarthy does too. Mike McCarthy really loves utilizing the fullback position. We saw him utilize Aaron Bripkowski in Green Bay quite a bit, and Antoine Woods and Tristan Hill last year. Osiris Mitchell, Brandon Smith, the two receivers that made this practice squad. Jeremy Sprinkle, Isaac Alarcon as well. Jeremy Sprinkle, by the way, tight end. Isaac Alarcon, guard/tackle. Very, very surprised that he did not get picked up by another team. He's going to be a roster exempt on the practice squad, so the Cowboys have an extra practice squad spot. I believe they currently have, once we finish up this list, they'll have, I think, 1 or 2 more spots left to fill. I'm not quite sure the exact number. But Isaac Alarcon, I'm just surprised that he made it through. Very, very glad that he's still with the Cowboys. Now, he's on the practice squad, so he still can get snatched up, but the fact that he made it through waivers tells us a lot about how other teams view him. Excuse me. I really like Isaac Alarcon. I hope at some point he gets elevated because there's a lot of potential there. Braelyn Jones, another offensive lineman. Austin Failu, I believe is how you say his last name. He's a defensive end. Justin Hamilton, he'll probably get elevated. Cowboys are down a defensive tackle with Neville Gallimore being out. They only have 3 on the active roster right now, so look for Justin Hamilton to get elevated at some point over the next week. Kyron Brown, who was released as part of the first roster cuts, he makes his return to Dallas on the practice squad as primarily a special teamer. Deontay Burton, I thought his NFL career was over after the Sunday's game against Jacksonville, but I guess not. He got dogged in that game. It was very unfortunate to see, but he'll be back on the practice squad. Tyler Cole, safety, and Darian Thompson, who, like I said, with Justin Hamilton, Jeremy Sprinkle, or potentially Ian Bunting, wouldn't be surprised to see if he's suited up for the season opener on Thursday. By the way, that game is 7 days away. We are exactly a week away from that game, and in case you haven't heard already, I will be at that game. Very, very, very excited. I can't wait to be bringing you guys the content. Flying out on Tuesday, going to spend a few days in Florida. And, when I get back, vlog, some post-game reaction streams. Speaking of streams, I already talked about the stream we're having tomorrow. Not on Monday, on Tuesday, we'll have a preview stream going over the game, probably with either Elliot or Alec, if not both. So keep your eyes peeled next week for that. That is everyone that returned to the Cowboys on the practice squad. As far as the guys that didn't make it back, let's go over them. Quarterback Garrett Gilbert signed to the New England Patriots to replace Cam Newton. Rondell Carter, this one pains me, but listen, there was no spot for Rondell Carter. I understand why he decided not to return to Dallas because, well, really, if he's getting elevated for a backup role. And, I understand that. I understand why he preferred not to want to stay here. He ends up going to Arizona. That's tough, though, because he was a very talented defensive end. Brendan Knox, running back. He's a free agent right now. Aaron Parker. This one also sucks, man. I thought the Cowboys were going to try and, I guess that doesn't make any sense. I was going to say, I thought the Cowboys were going to want to keep him on the practice squad, but he didn't even clear through waivers, so forget what I was just trying to say. Ultimately, he ends up going to Carolina. That sucks. I think the Cowboys would have probably liked to keep him, but he didn't end up making it through waivers. Johnny Dixon and Reggie Davis, another couple of receivers that are currently free agents. I wouldn't be surprised to see Reggie Davis make his way back onto the practice squad if there's room, seeing how John Fossil clearly liked him as a special teamer. Nick Eubanks, one of the tight ends, he goes to Philadelphia. Artavius Lynn, a free agent. Eric Smith, a free agent. And Stephen Parker, a free agent. So that is everyone that didn't make it back to the Cowboys. Few more notes to go over. CJ Goodwin, special teams ace, returned to practice. La'el Collins stretched with the team today in practice. His status for Thursday season opener will become more clear as the week goes on. If he doesn't start, it'll likely be Ty Nsekhe at the right tackle position that starts and tries to block that disgusting pass rush the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have, which, as I say that, level of concern rises. But that's not for another week, so let's not worry about it right now. Tyron Smith, the other offensive tackle. It's been a while since I felt this guy. That's coming directly from him. I'm going to do my best to play all 17 games. That's great to hear. Obviously, he had that surgery in the offseason. He's no longer wearing the neck collar as a result of it. So, that's good. Ultimately, I don't think that he's going to be able to play all 17 games. For Tyron Smith, it's not a matter of if he's going to go down. It's a matter of when. It's cool that he said that. I love the optimism there, but he's on the wrong side of 30. He's only getting older. He's dealt with some on the field health issues in the past. So I like the optimism. I just don't think it's realistic that he plays all 17. Oso Odigizua said Tom Brady is not very mobile. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Interior pressure is a premium, is what he said. If you get him off his spot, his passer rating goes down, and that is absolutely correct. You know, we all know Tom Brady can't really get out of the pocket and make plays. So Oso Odigizua, you know, hit that one spot on. If the interior can really get to work on Thursday and, you know, make Tom Brady uncomfortable, then, you know, he's going to struggle, and it will give the Cowboys a chance to win. I think that's really ultimately where the key to winning this game starts is, you know, in the trenches. Oso Odigizua, Brent Urban, guys like them, maybe Justin Hamilton if he gets elevated, probably will. Quinnen Bohanna, you know, those guys got to really perform it and get Tom Brady off of his game in order for the Cowboys to have a chance at winning this one. And we'll talk more about that in the stream next week on Tuesday, going over what we want to see, the keys to the game and all that for the season opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, that is everything I got for you guys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow in our season prediction stream. Make sure you guys tune in. Don't miss it.